Year without a Santa Claus. What if we didn't even have a Christmas, right? Well, that would suck. Hello there, folks. Welcome to this year's round of Xmas AF, where I put on a dumb Christmas hat and I talk about some holiday movies. I'm not going to necessarily tell you what the best ones are, but I'm going to watch some myself and I'm going to tell you what I think of them, and you might decide to watch these on your own. Year Without a Santa Claus is a 1974 stop-motion animated television special from Rankin Bass. It follows up specials like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, The Little Drummer Boy, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. You know, it's that stop-motion, puppety kind of thing that we all love to see at this time of year. Or at least I do. Most of this animation was actually done in Japan, which is a fact that I learned like yesterday. The music is always really good in the Rankin Bass specials, and this movie is no exception. This has got to be at least the third, maybe the fourth of the Rankin Bass specials to feature Santa Claus. It's called The Year Without a Santa Claus, but that is just a bold-faced lie, man, because it's a year where we almost had no Santa Claus. Santa Claus is in this entire movie. Anyway, up at the North Pole, I guess like a little bit before Christmas, couple weeks or couple days or whenever this is supposed to take place, Santa Claus has like a cold or something, or he's sick in bed, and he has this doctor come to visit him and give him a house call, and this doctor's this grumpy ass like Christmas hating guy. And Santa's like, well, I'm just not feeling my old holly jolly self. And the doctor's like, well, that's probably because, like, nobody loves you anymore. Santa Claus is stupid. Kids don't believe in Santa Claus anymore. And the doctor's like, you should just stay in bed and rest and forget about fuck Christmas. And Santa Claus is like, maybe you're right. So Santa Claus is bedridden, and Mrs. Claus is like, oh my god, Santa Claus can't stay in bed on Christmas. There can't be a Christmas without Santa Claus. So she sings a song about, what if I was Santa Claus? And, it's like a 3-minute song, and at the end of the song, it's like, nah, that won't work. So why the fuck did you waste 3 minutes talking about it? So Mrs. Claus goes to, like, two of the elves, Jingle and Jangle, who are, like, basically, like, Laurel and Hardy, and the two elves, and one of the reindeer, Vixen, who at this point is, I guess, supposed to be like a baby or a very young reindeer. They both jump on her back and fly, all over the world to try and rekindle children's love of Santa Claus, because apparently the doctor told Santa Claus people don't love him anymore, so they're going to go find the love and tell Santa. Okay. So they end up in, like, southern USA, and, I don't know, I think it's supposed to be like Georgia or something, or I don't know, they said Dixie in there somewhere. Anyway, they're in a place where it like never snows. And so they're like really out of place, these two elves and the reindeer, and they're, creeping around on the streets or whatever. They dress the reindeer up to look like a dog, so they don't get busted for having a reindeer. I guess they're illegal in Georgia, I don't know. So they're trying to find, kids that still have Christmas spirit or whatever. And they find this one kid, and they think he's pretty Christmassy, but they're not sure. And the kids are like, nah, Santa Claus, I'm getting too old for that kind of thing, and blah, blah, blah. But nice meeting you, you weirdos who think you're elves. So the reindeer gets taken to the pound, the dog pound. And then Jingle and Jangle have to go, like, talk to the mayor and like to try and get the reindeer out, and the reindeer's sick because of the warm climate, and the reindeer's like dying or something, which is really kind of sad and depressing. They went there to try and find love, man. Yeah, anyway, so they go see the mayor, and the mayor says, maybe I'll let your reindeer out of the dog pound when it snows here for Christmas. So then suddenly they're on this quest to make it snow in Dixieland or Southtown or whatever it's called. So that becomes the main quest of the movie. So they have to go visit like this cold miser guy, this guy that controls like the snow and how cold it gets and all that stuff. And he has a brother, unfortunately, called the heat miser that controls the south and, you know, basically keeps all the snow away and all the cold and keeps it hot and sunny. And so you got your snow guy and you got your fire guy, and they're brothers, and it's, I don't know, they sing some songs. Well, they both sing a song, but it's the exact same song. Yeah, it's a catchy song. What am I going to say? So anyway, these two guys have to come to some kind of agreement, these two heat and snow guys. And meanwhile, Santa Claus gets up out of bed and hears about that the reindeer's in trouble. And he's like, oh, I better go down there and investigate. And so Santa Claus jumps on another reindeer, goes down to Southtown, meets up with that exact kid that the elves couldn't really convince about Santa Claus and Christmas and holiday spirit and whatever. Meets up with that exact same kid and gets invited into their house, you know, asking questions about the dog pound and, you know, have you seen these elf guys? And but anyway, he meets like this kid's family, and then suddenly out of nowhere, this kid's dad gets this whole song, like this 4-minute song, super sad, nostalgic, telling his life story and why the kid should still believe in Santa Claus. Well-made song, and it's kind of, you know, very heartwarming lyrics and whatever, but it's just like comes out of nowhere from this, like, who's this frickin' guy? Like, you know, tell me about Santa Claus? Like, who the hell are you? Santa Claus sitting right there. Why don't you ask him? I don't know, it was just a weird scene. Santa Claus sitting around the dinner table, and he's starting to change his mind that, well, maybe I might do Christmas after all. So, like, by that point in the movie, it's like, you know, that there isn't going to be a year without Santa Claus, because they're going to have this little adventure, and they're going to go, and they're going to find the heat miser guy and the cold miser guy, and they're going to find the elves, and they're going to make it snow. Anyway, the elves and Mrs. Claus end up going to talk to the snow miser, who says, well, you better go talk to my brother, the heat miser. And these guys can't agree on anything, so they have to go above their heads to Mother Nature herself. And so Mother Nature scolds her boys for, I guess they're supposed to be like her sons or whatever. She scolds the boys for, you know, not getting along and blah, blah, blah. And they come to a compromise and they make it snow on Christmas. Santa Claus, for whatever reason, rescues the baby reindeer and goes right back to the North Pole, not knowing that it's going to snow in Southtown and whatever. And then the thing is, I guess, the snow in Southtown reignites the Christmas spirit, and everybody starts thinking about Christmas, and they're like, yay, Santa Claus, Christmas, all this, and all our good karma vibes going your way, Santa Claus. But Santa Claus is still, he's back up in the North Pole, and he's like, I don't know. I think I might just stay in bed. It's like, there's no hope for today's world. There's no room for Santa Claus. And he gets all these, like, letters from kids all over the world. And he looks at, like, one little girl's, like, little crayon drawing or whatever. Meanwhile, we're hearing the song Blue Christmas sung by this little girl. Like, Blue Christmas was like a love song. I don't know. It seems a little weird, not a place here, but whatever. It works. I mean, it's just a way of saying that, like, this kid is expressing just how sad all the kids in the world are going to be without you, Santa Claus. And Santa Claus is like, oh, my heart. Oh, how could I even consider not going, you know, and having Christmas and blah, blah, blah. And he knew that the whole time that there wasn't going to be a Christmas without Santa Claus. So Santa Claus hops in his sleigh and he goes around and delivers toys all over the world. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm sorry for being an asshole. So I guess really the whole thing is just Santa Claus procrastinating for the whole movie. I don't know. I mean, what do I think of this overall? I mean, it's pretty quality, I guess. I'm not going to lie. I was entertained. It got me in the Christmas spirit, which is, you know, important this time of year, right? It makes you think about, well, what if we didn't even have a Christmas, right? Well, that would suck. So what would I give this as a letter grade overall? Yeah, I'm gonna go B minus. Yeah, it's a well-made movie, and it's heartwarming and Christmassy, and it just wasn't really that exciting for me. I guess I built it up in my mind that it was this great Christmas movie, and it wasn't that great. It was okay. So this is just the first in my Xmas AF 2022 series. I'm hoping to have a lot more Christmas videos this year for you. I mean, last year I think I only got around to 5 of them. It was pretty rushed, so it might be a little early, but happy holidays and Merry Christmas and Merry Xmas to everybody out there. And I hope this holiday season finds you well, and look forward to a few more crazy Christmas videos. Have a good one out there.